You're watching the Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham. You can follow me on Twitter at HGrahamNFL. If we don't get to your questions here on this mailbag, you can always tweet me there. Give me a follow. We're always talking Chiefs football and the NFL as well. It's at HGrahamNFL. Go ahead and give me a follow on Twitter. From Jackson Mahomes. Oh, he must have seen my story about the Sean Taylor debacle. Kidding. I assume this is a fake account. Should the Chiefs trade Mecole Hardman? It's a tough one. What are you going to get for him? That's the question I would ask. Obviously, Mecole Hardman, it's pretty safe to say he's not living up to where he got drafted. I mean, the volume is okay this year, 30 catches, 389 yards and a touchdown. 9.6 average though is not that great for Mecole Hardman. I think he actually may have 289 yards. I may have misspoken. Yeah, it's 289 yards. So change that 3 to a 2, but 30 catches, 289 yards, only one touchdown. The yards per catch, 9.6. I mean, that's not really what you are looking for overall. I don't know, man. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know why they can't get more out of him, but maybe he's just not that good of a player. We'll actually ask you guys, have you been disappointed in Mecole Hardman? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get your votes in down in the comments. I have been, man. He still has big playability, but we just haven't seen it as much since his rookie season. Let me know. Type your Y for yes, type your N for no. Let's go to Brayden here. What is your grade on the Chiefs' rush defense? Well, for that Titans game, it was excellent. Overall, I think we have the defensive numbers. The Chiefs' defense is, what is it, Trace? 26th in rush defense. We've got that list 5. We want to pull that up real quick. The Chiefs are like 26th or 27th in rush defense overall. So overall, not very good. But against Derrick Henry and the Titans, it was obviously great. The problem is they clearly made that a focal point, which was smart, but they got toasted on the back end. So that's not the ideal situation there. You look at the numbers here. The defense overall has not been good. 27th in rush defense, so better against Derrick Henry, but overall still not very good whatsoever. Abadu, why is Gordon not playing? I don't know. I think he actually started. I think he got the first snap on offense, but 1 target, 0 catches. I don't get it. Why would you sign a guy with baggage if you're not going to play him? You don't need guys who come in with baggage if you're not going to use them. The whole point when you take chances on guys is for guys to be impact players, and he's had no impact. He has 1 catch in 3-4 games, whatever it is now. I don't get it. I'd like to at least give him some opportunities, but it's just not happening right now. Cole Keleher, what's up with DeAndre Baker being inactive if he's simply a healthy scratch? He's obviously not good. I mean, they don't think he's good. Now, Mike Hughes sucks, so and Travis Ward was in and out of the game yesterday. I think Rashad Fenton's played a little better, but this secondary is just not very good. Safety 2 spot's been in flux, obviously, with Thornhill and Sorensen. Tyrann Mathieu, he's been good, but he hasn't been great since that Ravens game when he had 2 picks. And L'Jarius Sneed hadn't played as good this year. So the secondary is bad, but clearly if Baker's a healthy scratch, not a good player. Viral Capadia, what are we going to do fix first? Defense or offense? Not even the O-line is struggling to protect Mahomes. Or now even the O-line is struggling. Yeah, dude, Orlando Brown. I mean, what do you do? If the season ended today, would you pay him big money? I mean, you traded for him. You traded a decent amount for him, so I still think they're going to keep him. But I guess the one good news is they might be able to keep him for a little bit less. So he's got to play better. They've obviously been shuffling Niang and Remmers at right tackle. I would play Niang, but yeah, like they've invested heavily in this offensive line, and it's been honestly pretty average overall. Let's see. Local John, what could we really do or trade for to get a defense help right now? I think you need a pass rusher more than anything. You need a pass rusher and a corner. That's what you need to start. You probably need more than that. But if you got a legitimate pass rusher and a corner, you'd be in much better shape. The problem is the Chiefs have invested in 2 pass rushers, Frank Clark and Chris Jones, and neither are producing at the level they need them to. So that's bad. When you pay guys big money and they don't produce, that puts you in a really tough situation. Dion Moten, why no free agent succeed? Why has no free agent succeeded once coming to KC? Coaching, talent assessment, scheme. Clark was good that first year, especially in the playoffs. Since then, though, now technically that was a trade, so maybe that's not the best example. I think Joe Tooney's still been pretty good this year, but he probably hadn't been $80 million good. It's a fair question. I don't know what it is. They got to play better. They got to get more out of these guys that they're taking chances on. Jaron Reid, giving him nothing. I mean, he's been terrible, which is somewhat surprising to me. I thought he would be a nice addition, but that has not proven to be the case. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. If you want a shout-out at the end of the live show, if you're watching live on Monday, give me a follow. It's at HGramNFL. I'll check my phone toward the end of the show, and I will give you guys some shout-outs. So give me a follow at HGramNFL. It should be in the live chat, in the comments as well. It's at HGramNFL. Greg Goodwin, are we going to make a big splash at the trade deadline? We'll see. We'll see. Brett Veach ain't shy, that's for sure. I'd like to add a impact player on defense, but at the same time, who's out there? I mean, who are you going to get that's going to make a huge difference? Names emerge. We'll see what happens. Kirt Patterson, why is this offense not running the ball or attacking the middle of the field when those are the only two ways to beat shell coverage? It is weird. A lot of the throws are short and outside. There's not a lot of those crossers with Kelsey that has killed teams over the years. Hill's dropping passes, which isn't helping. But I'm with you. I think you need to run more crossers and hit that intermediate spot, those 10 to 20-yard passes over the middle. Keleher, what happened to our offensive line? Well, Orlando Brown's a great run blocker, which is what he's been asked to do in Baltimore. He hasn't blocked well as a pass protector. That's a problem. I mean, they knew when they got him that he would have to there would be some learning curve. I don't know if they thought it would be this much, though. So, they're going to give him time, but I don't know if he's going to get a $100 million contract. That's for sure. Charlie Brown, will the Chiefs make the playoffs? Oh, boy. Who would have thought we'd be asking this before the season? Well, you take a look at the current AFC West standings. Raiders and Chargers have 2 losses. Raiders 5-2, Chargers 4-2, Chiefs and Broncos both at 3-4. Broncos don't worry me. They've lost 4 in a row. Their offense doesn't move it. But you've already lost to the Chargers. You still have the Raiders twice. You still have the Chargers once. So you can still win this division. Plus, there's 3 wild card spots. I mean, the Chiefs can make the playoffs in the wild card. That's very much a possibility. But let's ask you this. Who's going to win the AFC West? Type DEN for the Broncos. No chance. Type LAC for the Chargers. Type KC for the Chiefs. Type LV for the Raiders. I wouldn't be shocked, floored, if Kansas City rallied to win this division, but things got to change quickly. They got to play much cleaner football. Get your votes in. Who's going to win the AFC West? Phoenix Rising, should the Chiefs trade for a corner or a D lineman before the deadline? Either one's fine. I would focus on an edge rusher and kick Chris Jones back inside if you go defensive line. Or if it's a corner, that works too. Mike Hughes has not been very good. L'Jarius Sneed is still starting caliber, but he hasn't been as good this year. Travis Ford stinks. We all know that. You could certainly use a cornerback as well. Diego Torres, if Spags is fired, who would be the defensive coordinator? That's a good question. I don't know. I have no idea who would be the defensive coordinator. I don't know. It's a good question. I'd have to look at the defensive coaching staff a little bit more, but I do think it could create a spark. So we'll ask you guys. Should the Chiefs fire Steve Spagnuolo? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. I got a case of the yawns right now. I'm trying to get rid of them. Y for yes, in for no. Should the Chiefs go ahead and fire their defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo? Speaking of which, hopefully I don't get fired because I want to keep bringing you guys videos here on the Chiefs Report. So subscribe because the more subs we get, the more videos we get. Kind of like in the NFL. The worse your defense is, the less likely you are to remain a coach. Hey, more subscribers, more videos. That is economics. Hit that subscribe button. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. We'll continue to bang out more videos. All right, a couple more questions on this mailbag. James Nichols says, I still know we're going to play deep in January, but why no real adjustments on both sides of the ball? It's weird. There's certain things they're doing. what's the definition of insanity? Well, you keep doing the same thing expecting something to change. Why is Chris Jones still playing defensive end? Why is Byron Pringle not playing more? I think he's clearly this team's second best receiver at this point. I think he should play more than Mecole Hardman. Those type of things. Why are they trying to think of some other things? Why is Ben Neiman still getting snaps? Why is Dan Sorensen still getting snaps? Play Armani Watts. There are other things you can try. It took them 6 weeks to bench Sorensen for Thornhill. I mean, it's weird, man. They got to adjust. They trust their guys, but this is a different year, man. You're 3-4 now. You got to be willing to adapt and give other guys some chances. Ken Hull, why is Gordon not playing and targeted? Asked and answered. I have no idea. I think he should play more. I think he deserves an opportunity, and he's not getting those right now. Chris Henson, has Orlando Brown been worth our first-round pick? Honestly, up to this point, the answer is no. That being said, Eric Fisher was not going to be the answer. You had to cut him. He doesn't look the same with coming off the Achilles. So you would have had to do something over there. I still think long-term he can be the guy, but he's been very inconsistent at best through 7 games. Cole Keleher, let me take a sip here. Saw a comment from somebody before the show stating that they know for a fact that the defense is quitting on Spags' likelihood. I don't know how you can say that for a fact. I will say Chris Jones was loafing around. Frank Clark's effort sucks. Outside of that, I think the linebackers are playing hard. I just think the play is inconsistent there. I think the corners are trying. They're just not very good. But that defensive line in general, when you consistently get no push up front, it's one or two things. It's effort, it's lack of talent, or it's both. They've paid 2 guys a combined almost $200 million in Chris Jones and Frank Clark. They went out and signed Reid. Clearly they're not as good as we thought, but I think there could be effort questions there. I think that's a possibility. Justin Locklear, why is the Chiefs not firing no one yet? Because they're so used to winning and they believe in their guys. That's probably the best answer I could give. I think you should fire Spags just to create a spark, if nothing else. But, they might not do that midseason. We'll just have to see how the next few weeks play out. You lose the Giants at home, I think someone's getting fired. I really do. Mike Schlup, why do they have so many offensive linemen on the payroll if they're just going to leave in the ones that are struggling? This is our last question on this mailbag. It's a fair point. I mean, they made a change at right tackle. They benched Lucas Niang for Remmers, although Niang got banged up initially. Maybe they're just, they feel like he's not 100%. Not sure. They've made that change, though. Creed Humphrey's actually been really good at center. What are you going to do at left tackle? You're going to put Niang at left tackle? You got to let Orlando Brown struggle. You could mix it up at guard. You've got LDT. Kyle Long's eligible to come off the PUP list if he's healthy. Trey Smith actually had his first real big struggle game yesterday, or on Sunday, I should say. So, yeah, I mean, you could mix it up. You got a lot of depth there.